Welcome back to the first Martin's Home and Garden Houseplant of the Week of 2022. We hope everyone had a happy new year, and we're so excited for everything that we have in store for y'all this year. To start things off, we are going to talk about the Red Maranta plant, also called a red prayer plant. These plants are native to South America, and they get their common name prayer plant from the motion of their leaves. During the day, like they are right now, the leaves lay out flat as to absorb energy from the sun. And then at night, they kind of curl up inwards, like the motion of praying hands to conserve energy. And that's how they get their name, prayer plant. They have a really cool and unique leaf coloring. They have a dark green background with red veining throughout the leaves. They're an easy to care for houseplant, and they're a very eye-catching addition to your houseplant collection. So if you are looking to pick up one of these guys, or you have one and you want to know how to care for it, we're going to tell you how to care for it today. The first thing we'll talk about is lighting requirements for these plants. They prefer a bright indirect light, but they will tolerate lower light conditions. So if you don't have a ton of light in your home and you're looking for an easy houseplant to care for, this is going to be a good option for you. But they do prefer and thrive better in that bright indirect light. They don't want direct sun. Direct sun will scorch and burn the leaves and cause brown splotches and the leaves to kind of curl up. If you notice that happening, move your plant back from the window a couple of feet and that should fix your problem. The next thing we'll talk about is watering for these plants. They like a consistently moist soil, but they don't want to be soggy. So it's best to let the top 2 inches of soil dry between waterings, just to make sure it's not sitting in any excess water. You don't want to cause any root rot. They are not drought tolerant, so if they are being underwatered, some signs they're being underwatered will be dry, crispy leaves, curling leaves, and things like that. If that starts happening, water your plant more frequently, cut off the bad leaves, and they should go back to normal. Another thing with watering is fertilizer. So in the spring and summer months, which are the growing seasons for this plant, you're going to want to water in fertilizer once every 2 weeks. Just mix in some fertilizer with your water. There are directions on the back of how to dilute this. This one is Espoma Organic Indoor Houseplant Food. This is a really good option for these houseplants. The next thing we'll talk about is humidity. Since these guys are from the rainforest of South America, they love humidity. They thrive best when they have a lot of humidity. If they're not getting enough, they will kind of display the same signs as if you're underwatering them. The leaves will start to kind of crisp up and brown on the edges and curl. So if that's happening, you definitely want to increase the amount of humidity you have around these plants just to help them look prettier and nicer and thrive even better. It's best to try and mimic the natural conditions for each houseplant, and this is no different. Ways to increase the humidity would be putting this plant by a humidifier. You can mist this plant a couple times a week. You can also put it under or on top of a pebble tray. We actually have a video that'll be linked right up here on how to make your own pebble tray, and it also talks about some other ways of how to increase humidity and why it's important. The last thing we'll talk about today is soil for these plants. These plants, even though they like a consistently moist soil, they need a well-draining soil mix so that they are not sitting in water. A normal kind of indoor potting mix should be fine for these. They usually contain plenty of elements of like perlite to increase drainage. But if you think your soil is not well draining enough, you can always mix in some peat moss, some perlite, just to increase that drainage even more to prevent anything like root rot happening to your plants. Another way to increase drainage would be to ensure that your pot that you plant this plant in has a drainage hole in the bottom, just so it's not sitting in any kind of excess water. Excess water can cause the soil to become too soggy. The roots will sit in water for too long. It can cause root rot, which will kill your plant, which is no good. But that is all we have for today, guys. We are getting new houseplants in sometime this week, so stay tuned on our social medias to see what all we get in, and let us know in the comments what all you want to see in the new year on Houseplant of the Week. We also have a houseplant swap coming up on January 15th at 10 a.m. You can sign up on our website. It's going to be $5 per person, and we can't wait to see you there. We'll see you next week, guys. Bye.